Welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you've ever felt like your organization's leadership meetings are actually draining your momentum instead of, building it, you're absolutely going to love this. Today, we're unpacking a step-by-step playbook for transforming your nonprofit's execution. We're diving into Chris Lambert's highly effective 90-minute leadership meeting structure drawn directly from his book, Next Level Nonprofit. Management expert John Pearson actually highly recommends dropping this system straight into your meetings bucket, so let's get right into it. To really wrap our heads around the power of the system, we need to talk about a pretty staggering number, $43.5 million. That represents the journey of Life Remodeled, a Detroit nonprofit founded by Lambert. These guys went from a church with just $8,000 in the bank, fewer than 200 members, and honestly, zero connections to people of influence, to overseeing over $43.5 million in neighborhood investments between 2014 and 2022. That is massive. And when people ask Lambert, hey, what's your secret sauce for this kind of wild growth? He points straight to their operating system. So here is our precise roadmap for today as we break down how to lead the ultimate weekly leadership meeting. We've got 1, the execution secret sauce, 2, rules of the weekly, 3, the 90-minute agenda, 4, the final 5 minutes, and 5, cultivating radical feedback. Section 1, the execution secret sauce, the core foundation. As an inexperienced CEO early on, Lambert figured out pretty fast that to keep up with the demands of his rapidly growing organization, he desperately needed a proven operating system, and specifically one built for nonprofits. His system relies on 4 complementary components: team unity, compelling vision, right strategy, and disciplined execution. Now, obviously, all 4 are absolutely vital for a thriving culture, but for our explainer today, we are zeroing in entirely on that final pillar, disciplined execution. And the true engine behind that disciplined execution? It's a completely uncompromising meeting that Lambert simply calls the weekly. He describes this mandatory 90-minute executive leadership team meeting as the absolute backbone of the entire Next Level nonprofit system. It's basically where high-level strategy becomes on-the-ground reality. Moving on to Section 2, Rules of the Weekly, Strict Boundaries. Okay, for this to actually work, the rules of engagement are super strict and completely non-negotiable. First off, it's mandatory, and it's for the executive leadership team only, nobody else. Second, it has to happen on the exact same day, at the exact same time, every single week. Routine is everything here. Third, absolutely zero digital distractions are allowed in that room. That means no emailing, no texting, no working on a side project. You are fully present. And finally, you always start on the dot and you always end on the dot. No exceptions. The whole point here is maintaining ultimate respect. Respect for the structure and respect for your peers' time. It's summed up perfectly by this pretty intense mantra from the book. Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Boom. That sets a tone of high performance and mutual respect from the literal first minute of the meeting. Section 3, the 90-minute agenda, step-by-step breakdown. So how are those 90 minutes actually spent? Well, it kicks off with highs and lows, which is a great way to let the team connect on a human level before diving into the heavy lifting. Then, it transitions into focus time to really center everyone's attention. Right after that, boom, straight into the scoreboard review. This is a crucial step where the team looks at key metrics to objectively answer, are we winning or losing this week? Following the scoreboard, you hit what I think is a total game changer. It's a critical accountability segment called the W3s. The W3s stand for what needs to be done, who is responsible, and when it will be completed. It's so brilliant in its simplicity because it guarantees ultimate clarity on tasks, ownership, and strict deadlines. Literally nothing can slip through the cracks when every single action item has a what, a who, and a when glued to it. The flow then moves into tackling quarterly priorities, which is super important to make sure the day-to-day fires aren't totally blinding you to your long-term goals. Next, the group identifies key opportunities and next steps. And finally, the meeting transitions into a highly structured wrap-up. Section 4, the final 5 minutes, crucial alignment. Look, we've all been there. The clock is ticking down, you're tired, and you just want to pack up your laptop and leave. But Lambert argues these final 5 minutes are actually the most vital part of the whole gathering. During this strict 5-minute window, the team has to definitively answer 3 specific questions. Number 1, let's recap the W3s to guarantee absolute clarity. Number 2, what information needs to leave this room and be communicated to the rest of the staff? And number 3, how did we do as a team today? That ensures 100% alignment before a single person walks out that door. Which brings us to Section 5, cultivating radical feedback, radical honesty. Now, asking that final question, how did we do today? That only actually works if you've already built a thriving culture of honest feedback. According to Lambert, a lot of 360 review attempts just crash and burn because the senior team lacks basic humility. To build real trust, look at this contrast in how feedback is handled. For coaches and direct supports, Lambert enforces the classic rule: praise publicly, critique privately. And this is a huge but, he explicitly demands an exception for the CEO and COO. They're expected to take constructive criticism on the spot, no matter who else is in the room. Talk about modeling vulnerability from the top down, right? And he pushes this transparency even further. Lambert actually challenges leaders to regularly ask their direct supports this specific gut check question: what could I do or stop doing that would make it easier to work with me? It takes a serious amount of confidence to ask that, but it's absolutely essential for uncovering your blind spots and keeping the team totally unified. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a rather provocative challenge pulled right from the book's 20-question assessment. Are you gutsy enough to honestly assess your team? Does everyone in your organization know the absolute most important things you need to accomplish? Are you actually excellent at keeping your most talented team members around? I'd urge you to take a hard look at your own disciplined execution this week. Think about implementing the structure of the weekly, asking those tough feedback questions, and driving your nonprofit to that next level. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and keep striving for that ultimate team unity.